Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to a track day at Hampton Downs with my Civic Type R. So it's a full day event. We will do 5 15-minute sessions throughout the day. And for each session, the Type R will probably be able to run 7 to 8 laps on the track. My Type R is fully stock, so it will be interesting to see how it does on the track. Does the engine overheat? Are the brakes sufficient for track use? It's my first time driving a front-wheel drive car on the track, so it will be interesting to see how it handles. I will also try to compare it to my 911 GT3, which is a rear-wheel drive car, and see how different they are. We are getting ready for our first session at Hampton Downs, getting the tire pressure checked to make sure that there is not too much air in the tires, because the air can heat up and the tire pressure can get really high on the track, and also getting our helmet and race suit ready. There are a lot of Porsches here today, from GT3s to GT2 RSs, GT3 RSs, GT4 RSs, 911 turbos. There is even a Nissan GT-R, a Ferrari, a McLaren, and there is also a Lotus Elise that's in the lineup. So that's really interesting to see all these cars come together on the track. After a couple sessions, we're checking the tire pressure again to make sure there's not too much air in the tires, and also open up the hood to let the engine cool down. The brakes actually held out very well. They get really hot, but there's not much fade in them, so that's really good. The cooling system in the FL5 Civic Type R is actually surprisingly quite good. We would run about 7 to 8 laps every session, and the oil temperature can get over 130 degrees on the 7th lap onwards, and the warning light will come up. But then this doesn't affect me finishing off the session, but anything longer than that will be a problem. The oil temperature drops quite quickly once the engine cools down. We get about an hour of break between sessions, so that is plenty of time for the engine and brakes to cool. We are then ready again to blast on the track for another 7 to 8 laps. So to start, the track app in the Honda Civic Type R is very easy. You go to Honda LogR. So this is the main screen for the LogR that I've set up. And for the track app to work, the oil temperature has to be above 50 degrees. So to start, you press on the Start Data Log. Inside there, you can choose which track you are on. So I've already set it to Hampton Downs. If you haven't, you can go to Settings. And I usually set the timer to auto, so it will record your lap time every time when it passes the starting point. Usage location, you can use preset and then choose the track that you are on. So Hampton Downs is what I've chosen and what I've used for the track day. So once you've chosen that, it shows you the control line. So this is where the auto recording will start. Once you pass the starting line, which is the control line, it will record your lap. Okay, so press OK. My location, don't worry about that. Go back, so that's all good. And then to start, you just press Start Data Log. And you can see that there's a timer on here. So right now I'm at home, but if you are on the track, once you pass the start line, it will start recording. Once the recording is done, you can go to Data Log and see your best times of the day. So that's the date where I went to Hampton Downs with my Type R, and shows you all the best times. And if you press into that, it will show you basically all your best lap times. And then if you press into this, it's very cool. It will give you a lot of data. For example, look at this. You can see there is a graph over here. So my balance and variation is good, but my friction is not that good. So that means there's still more grip with the tires. And the G average is not pushed out as well. So that means my cornering speed could be increased as well. So it's really good for analyzing how you're doing on the track. You can go to driving data. This is very cool. This gives you a real-time recording. So if I press play, that little arrow will run. That means my car is driving on the track. It will show you the traction. And all these data, if I press that, you can see every line represents a different data. So you have the speed, the G-force, your steering angle, your throttle, all that kind of stuff, your braking as well. So yeah, so that's very helpful to analyze how you're doing on the track. Going back to the score. So the score mode, you can actually have the score details. So yeah, it gives you suggestions of how you can improve your lap. So you can see my G-force is good, but I'm driving below the limit, meaning that my cornering speed could increase. Friction, meaning that there's still more grip in the tires. My balance, my variation. So yeah, again, it's very, very good. Gives you a lot of information, so you can look at them, review them once you've done recording, and after your track day, you can go through them to improve your lap times. It was really fun driving the Type R on track today, and to my surprise, it actually did really well. It's got great handling and balance. Also, the gearbox is really amazing to use. The brakes, I have to say, they are really amazing in stock form. The stopping power is really good. and there were no fade throughout the day. The only problem might have been the cooling system, where the engine oil temperature can get quite high after 7 laps. But for me, it is fine because I'm only using this car for occasional track days and I wouldn't run it over 8 laps. So for me, in stock form, this is totally fine. But if you are a more serious track driver and you drive this car on the track for a longer period of time, then it's probably best to get an aftermarket intercooler to improve the cooling system. I also have to say the Type R is a totally different experience driving on the track compared to my 911 GT3. The GT3 is a much more serious car. It's much faster on the track, in the straights, in the corners. I had to pay much more attention while driving on the track with the GT3, and also the braking points with these cars are also very different. The stock Civic Type R is a very fun, engaging and entertaining car to drive on the track. And honestly, it's only 1/5 of the price of my 911 GT3. And if you really want to get serious with this car, you can get aftermarket improvements with the chassis, with the engine output, with the aero, even with the weight saving. And this car can become a really serious track weapon as well. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed my experience with the Type R on the track. Let us know in the comment section below any of your thoughts or any experiences you've had with the Type R on the track. There is going to be a Type R and Honda specific track day in November. There will be a lot of Honda enthusiasts and Type R owners there on that day. And hopefully we'll be bringing you another video on that event as well. So thank you again for watching. Hope to see you next time. Bye!